जय जगन्नाथ बलदेव जय सुभद्रा नाम संकीर्तन की चंद्रलिखित विष्णु विष्णुपाद वाई चरणारविंद सांस प्रभुपाद अनितरा विष्णु विष्णुपाद ठाकुर प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्तलिंग की नमाचित श्रीदास ठाकुर की समवेत भक्तलिंग की जय गौतमानंदे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भागवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। हरे कृष्ण। श्रीमद् भागवतम कैंटो 8 चैप्टर 3 टेक्स्ट 8 and 9. The title is Gajendra Prayer of Surrender. न विद्यते यस्य च जन्म कर्म वा नरो नाम रूपे गुणदोष एव वा तथापि लोकोपाय संभवाय जो समायातानि अनुकालं विच्यते। तस्मै नमः परेशाय ब्रह्मणे अनन्तशक्तये अरूपाय अरूपाय नामाश्चर्य कर्मणे न विद्यते यस्य च जन्म कर्म वा न नाम रूपे गुणदोष एव वा तथापि लोकापाय संभवाय समायातानि अनुकालं रिच्यते। तस्मै नमः परेशाय ब्रह्मणे अनन्तशक्तये अरूपाय अरूपाय नमः आश्चर्य कर्मणे न विद्यते यस्य च जन्म कर्म वा न नाम रूपे गुणदोष एव वा तथापि लोकोपाय संभवाय स मायया तानि अनुकालं ऋच्छति तस्मै नमो परशाय ब्रह्मणे अनन्तशक्तये अरूपाय रूपाय नमो आश्चर्यकर्मणे नमो परशाय What meaning? No, not. Vidyate, there is. Jasya, of whom? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. Cha, also. Janmo, but. Karma, activities. Ba, or. Na, nor. Nama, rupo, any material name or material form. Guna, qualities. Dosho, fault. Evo, certainly. Va, either. Tathapi, still. Loko, of this cosmic manifestation. Appaya, who is the destruction. Shambhavaya, and creation. Yo, he who. Samayaya, by his own potency. Tani, activities. Anukalam, certainly. Richati, accept. Tasmai, unto him. Namaha, I offer my obeisances. Paro, transcendental. Isho, who is the supreme controller. Brahmani, who is the Supreme Brahman, Param Brahma, Ananta, Ananta Sattaye, with unlimited potency, Arupaya, possessing no material form, Ururupaya, possessing various forms as incarnations. Namaha, I offer my obeisances. As Asyarjo Karmana, whose activities are wonderful. Translation and purport by His Divineness Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no material but activities, name, form, qualities, or force. To fulfill the purpose for which this material world is created and destroyed, He comes in the form of human being, like a Lord Rama or Lord Krishna. By his original internal potency, he has immense potency and in various forms, all free from material contamination. He acts wonderfully. He is therefore the Supreme Brahma. I offer my respect to him. Please repeat after me. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no material but activities, name, form, qualities, or faults. To fulfill the purpose for which this material world is created and destroyed, He comes is this the form of a human being, like a Lord Ram or Lord Krishna. By his original internal potency, he has immense potency and in various forms, all free from material contamination. He acts wonderfully. He is therefore the Supreme Brahma. I offer my respect to him. In the Vishnu Puran, it is said, Gunascha, Gunascha, Dosascha Munne, Gatito, Samasto Kaleno, Guno no Atmoko Hi. The Supreme Personality of Godhead has no material form, qualities or force. He is the spiritual and in the only reservoir of all spiritual qualities. As stated in Bhagavad Gita 4.8, by Supreme Personality of Godhead, Paritranaya sadhuna vinasasya duduskritam. The Lord's activities of saving the devotees and annihilating in the demons are transcendental. Anyone annihilated by the Supreme Personality of Godhead gets the same result as a devotee who is uh, potent, protected by the Lord. Both of them are transcendentally promoted. The only difference is that a devotee goes directly to the spiritual planets and becomes an associate of the Supreme Lord, whereas demons are promoted of Brahma Loko, the impersonal effulgence of Lord. Both of them, however, are transcendentally promoted. The Lord killing or annihilating of the demons is not exactly like the killing of the material world. Although he appears to act within the moods of material nature, he is nirguna, above the mood of nature. His name is not material, otherwise how could one get liberation by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Rama? The name of the Lord, like a Ram and Krishna, are non-different from the person Ram and Krishna. Thus, by chanting the Hare Krishna mantra are constantly associated with Ram and Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and therefore become liberated. A practical example in Ajami, who always remained transcendental to his activities simply by chanting the name of Narayan. If this was true of Ajamil, what is the what what is to be said of the Supreme Lord? When the Lord come to this material world, he does not become a product of matter. This is confirmed throughout Bhagavad Gita. Janma karma chome dibbam avajananti mangmora manasim tonum asritam. Therefore, when the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Rama and Krishna, descend to act transcendentally for our benefit, we should not consider him an ordinary human being. When the Lord comes, he does so on the basis of his spiritual potency, Sambhavani Atma Mayaya. Because he is not forced to come by the material energy, he is always transcendental. One should not consider the Supreme Lord an ordinary human being. Material name and form are contaminated, but spiritual name and spiritual form are transcendental. But giving a very wonderful parvat. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namo Sri Chaitanya Manahabhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Sapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru श्रीयुतपदकामलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवंश श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथं तं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादं सहगना ललिता श्रीसहानुतांश्च नमं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तो स्वामिते नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे विशेषशून्यवादी पश्चात्तदेशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गे राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी शोभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिः नमो महावदन्नाय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्य नाम्ने गौरतिसे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम 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 हरे कृष्ण. First of all, I offer my obeisances, all the national devotees. Please bless me and I speak about the transcendental subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is difficult to speak about Srimad Bhagavatam unless blessing of devotees. So, here Prabhu already giving everything, not required to anything. Here, part 4, Prabhupada giving very nicely explain here. 4 5 things I want to discuss here. First of all, what is the difference between the living entities and Supreme Personality Godhead? And then, what is the constitutional position of living entities and Supreme Personality Godhead? And then another, actually, who can actually understand in this subject matter, especially Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna's pastime, and how can understand? And then, why people do not recognize Supreme Personal Godhead. Even when Supreme Personal Godhead personally appears in this material world. And last is, what is the best way to know about Supreme Personal Godhead? So, what is the difference between Supreme Personality Godhead and living entities? It is also mentioned in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, 18th chapter, Mame Vangsha Jivaloka Jiva Vangsha. We are all a part of parcel of Supreme Personality Godhead. That's why the living entity is always minute. And Supreme Personality Godhead. The Supreme Personality, the Godhead, is always situated in the transcendental platform. The living entity is also spiritual, but some and how others, when you come to the material nature, is forget his real identity. That's why he not always situated on the transcendental platform. Maybe we can see the Supreme Personality, Radha Madan Mohan Krishna Balaram, maybe Supreme Personality Godhead, various time he appears, different form, and he also, especially Lord Ramchandra and especially Bhagavan Sri Krishna, when he appears in these materials, is from like a human being. That's why the general people do not actually understand, do not recognize Supreme Personality, because his acting is like a human being. The Supreme Personality, maybe his appearance in this material nature and material world, and he also like a form the human beings, but his acting is not like the human beings. It's like the acting always transcendental. Just like he lifting when he was 7 years old, so he lifting the Govardhan hill. It is not possible any human beings. But some people he do not believe the Supreme Personality Godhead, the lifting the Govardhan hills. But performing the pastime of the Rasulila, they could understand. But they are also believed. But lifting the Govardhan hill, it is not possible. Because it is not possible to them. That's why he do not understand, do not believe. So, here Prabhupada very nicely explained here, he is a spiritual, is only reservoir of all spiritual qualities. As stated in Bhagavad Gita, Supreme Personality Godhead, the Paritranang Sadhuna Vinashaja Duskrita. Actually, Krishna it is not the main duty is the killing the demons and establish the religion principle. Krishna's so many incarnation, they could done this type of actually activities. But Krishna's actually main duties is not, although Krishna himself says is why I am appearing in this materials world, the Paritranaya Sadhuna, Vinashaja Duskrita. But then Prabhupada here mentioned the Supreme Personal Godhead gets same result as a devotee who is protected by the Lord. Both of them are transcendentally promoted. The devotees and demons, they are actually promoted same. But here Prabhupada mentioned, whereas demons are promoted to Brahmaloko, the spiritual effulgence of Lord. Both of them, however, are transcendentally promoted. The Lord killing or annihilating the demons is not exactly like a killing of the material world. We can see here the when people killing by the another people. That time are not when Krishna killing some demons, that killing or Krishna's killing the demons is not like the same. Both here actually materials. When the demons killing by the Supreme Personal Godhead Krishna, they are also promoted the spiritual sky. But here, someone killing somebody, by killing, is must be punishment by government. Huh? But when demons killing by Krishna, they are promoted to the spiritual world. Although he has not position is like that devotees, but he also promoted to spiritual sky. And then constitutional position of Supreme Personality Godhead. Over so many times Prabhupada explained our constitutional position and Supreme Personal Godhead constitutional position. Both are not same. Although we are both are spiritual, but our constitutional position and Krishna's constitutional position, it is a far different. Krishna's is always a situated transcendental platform, but our constitutional position, the mood of nature, we are captivated by the material nature. When we come to the platform of the material world, we are captivated by the material nature. But Krishna always situated the pure goodness. That's why Prakriti Kriyo Manani Gune Karmani Sarvasya. The living entities actually whatever he act by the force of the material nature. But other hand, the Krishna says Maya Adhyakshana Prakriti. But Prakriti is the actually controlled by the Supreme Personality Godhead. We are controlled by material nature, and material nature controlled by the Supreme Personality Godhead. This is the difference between. That's why Krishna's constitutional position and living entities constitutional position total difference. Maybe we are both are spiritual, but constitutional position is different. Then who can actually understand? It is also Bhagavad Gita, so many places Krishna personal is actually explained. Who can understand? Only devotees. How? Who can understand? Only devotees can understand. Bhakta mam abhijanati. Those who are devotees, they can understand Supreme Personality Godhead's constitutional position. Unless until we are become a devotees, no one can actually understand Krishna's original constitutional position. That's why Krishna says, no one can understand by yoga, by karma, by jnana. It is not possible. Only can understand, only can recognize Supreme Personality Godhead by through devotional service. And it is both are two sections. Who can understand and how can understand? How can understand? By only devotional service. Devotional service, what is the devotional service? Devotional service means without any cause. Without any cause, we are practicing when the devotional service and just satisfied to Krishna. We are practicing Krishna consciousness or we are engaged in some devotional service, but we are desire, get something. It is not pure devotional service. When we are desire, this is actually it is not pure devotion, it is a mixing. Just like the heavenly planets, the demigods. Demigods actually the situation is a mixing devotional service. When they are become some travel, that time they are surrendered unto the Supreme Personal Godhead. They are, and then they are free from the travel, then they are become forgets. So many times we can see the Indra's pastime. When Indra become a travel, when become a Indra, Indra become a travel, he immediately going to help some Supreme Personality Godhead, and he become overcome the problem and overcome this trouble, and then immediately he forgets the Krishna's helping. Then says why people actually do not recognize Supreme Personality Godhead, even when he personal appears in this material. Why do not understand? Because maximum people, they are actually the situated a mood of ignorance and mood of passion. Unless until situated a mood of goodness, actually no one can understand the Krishna actually constitutional position. That's why maybe we are practicing devotional service, but if you are not, we are not actually situated mood of goodness. Even we are devotees, but we are perfectly we cannot understand, perfectly we cannot recognize Supreme Personality Godhead constitutional position. That's why what to speak of the outside of people, those who are not practicing devotional service. So people do not understand or do not recognize Supreme Personality Godhead because there are actually lack of knowledge due to ignorance, so many things also there. So if you were actually completely recognize, completely understand Supreme Personality Godhead, first of all, we are situated in mood of goodness. Mood of goodness is a very important thing. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, chapter 2, there says, Tada rajastamo bhavo kamolobo adaichare cheto eto anaviddang sthitang satya pasidati. So long remain we are situated mood of passion and mood of ignorance. It is very difficult to recognize. And situated mood of passion and mood of ignorance means must be there so many things. Greedy, lusty, so many things. But cheto eto anaviddang sthitang satya prasidati. Unless until we are situated the mood of goodness, it is very difficult to understand. Even also devotees. That's why it is important to practicing rendering devotional service. Rendering devotional service means without any laziness, just during the chanting time, during the Bhagavatam, during the service time. If you are not practicing, if you are not attending very enthusiastically or very seriously, it is very difficult to situate a mood of goodness. Especially when during the chanting time. That's why next point is what is the best way to know about Supreme Personality God? Best way is if you are not improve our, especially the chanting. Because the chanting is the best way to improve our improve our consciousness. Consciousness means maybe we are practicing devotional service, but our consciousness, actually consciousness is not the fixed, the Krishna consciousness. Two kind of consciousness, material consciousness and Krishna consciousness. Maybe you are practicing, but our consciousness is not Krishna consciousness. But if we are not improve our actually spiritual advancements. That's why the best way in this age of Kali, only the chanting, only the pure chanting. That's why all the scriptures, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Srimad Bhagavad Gita, all are scripture. There are actually highlights. How we can improve our chanting? That's why it is very important things. If we are not improve our chanting, it is very difficult to the advancement of the devotional service. So it is very important. That's why Prabhupada here very nicely had described the, especially here बता रहे यहाँ पर Prabhupada mentions here Ram and Krishna descend to act transcendentally for our benefit. We should not consider him an ordinary human being. When the Lord comes, he does not show on the basis of his spiritual potency, Sambhavani Atmaya, because he is not forced to come by the material energy. He is always transcendental. One should not consider the Supreme Lord an ordinary human being. Material names and forms are contaminates, but spirituals name and spiritual form are transcendental. Material names and material form is maybe contaminated. Why? Because the material nature is contaminated. There's a material name and material form is contaminated. But Krishna's name and form is not material, it's transcendental. It is never and ever can be become a contaminant. The Krishna's name is always transcendental. So when we chant uttering Krishna's name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. We are immediately become free from contaminate, and we are also situated at the transcendental platform. And in this way, we can also promote our self to transcendental platform, transcendental sky, and here also practicing devotional service. And when we are leave the body, we are eternally situated at the transcendental platform and practicing eternally devotional service. And here, then our life become a fully successful. Thank you very much. Any correction, any question? ग्रंथरा श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की, जय गौ प्रेमानंदे।